Hello guys and girls, congratulations. We are at the end of the Foundation series, episode 10. This is where we dig into financial freedom. I'm really pleased that you've made it this far and that you've really absorbed all of the information from episode 1 all the way to episode 10. And in this episode, I really wanted to finish off with some key components that you can take away and sustain in your trading for the long term. This is really about you thinking big, having big goals, ambitious goals, but also understanding what are the key principles that you need to focus on so you can be in this business for the next 10, 15, 20 years. Think about your trading career. Guys and girls, let's get into episode 10. Welcome and congratulations, guys and girls. So we are now at episode 10, the Falcon Principles. So I'm very excited to get into this episode as we go over the key components that's now going to set you up for that future success. And we're going to be covering the Falcon Principles as well, something you can always adhere back to and make sure you're on the right track. But first up, as we're at the end of the Foundation series, it's really important that we get into things like capital, diversifying, just the overall freedom of what Forex gives you. So let's start off with our starting capital. So with our starting capital, the starting capital in your account really depends on how comfortable you are with risk, as well as your experience within the markets. If you're brand new to trading, then we highly recommend for you to trade a demo account for a very short period of time. Sometimes 2 to 3 months. I wouldn't go any further than that before investing any of your own capital into a live account. When you're ready to go live, most brokers will often have a minimum investment. This varies between brokers, but generally the range of £1,000 to £3,000. It's encouraged to invest the minimum to start, so you can begin to play with real capital and emotion that comes in before you scale up. If you open a live account with the proper knowledge and foundation in place, you'll be able to set yourself up for success. The Foundation series lays all of the core information that you need to implement and get started. And this brings me nicely on to freedom. So freedom is what it's all about. This is what it's all about within Falcon. We want you to become the best version of yourself and level up your trading ability so you can focus on what is truly important to you and create the financial freedom for yourself and focus on your true passions. Forex unlocks the door for you to grow as a person, finding your purpose and passion, because the abundance of time that allows you to create for yourself, you've now got that time to focus on things of what you're truly passionate about. So the simplicity within Falcon and the Falcon style will allow you to create more freedom and really begin to show you that there are no limits, only the ones that you allow to affect your progress, which is in your mind. And we will help you break through those. If you have experienced any sort of a resentment or frustration towards your current situation, you've made the right decision by investing in this course, and most importantly, investing in yourself. Being surrounded by the right people is an absolute necessity, and the Falcon community is the right place to do that. That is what's going to help you get that freedom. And once you've got the freedom, you want to take this further into, what do I do next? Well, diversifying your investment. It's very key when you're looking at the bigger picture. Building a portfolio, that's the fun part. It's never a good idea to keep all of your eggs in one basket. And in this case, your capital represents the eggs and the FX market as the basket. Diversifying your investment into it is extremely important, especially for longer term perspectives. So you may not have all of your capital in Forex, and we would never encourage you to do that. This course teaches you purely FX education. However, it is important to note that your account grows. You may start to actually look at that capital partition within your account and park money in other investments. So you may look at things like property, learning how to invest in property, or investing in cryptocurrency for longer term holds, or other things, or side businesses. There's so many other things, but having it all in Forex isn't necessarily the smartest idea. At the beginning, however, focus purely on FX, build the skill, scale your account to a stage where you can start looking into capital partitioning and portfolio diversity. Because the thing is, right, you don't want to become a jack of all and a master of none. It's important that you focus your attention first, become really good at something, and then diversify. That is what wealthy people have done. And if you've ever studied wealthy people, they don't have 5 things going on at once. They master 1 or 2 areas, do it really well, and then they diversify. That's the most important thing. And this brings me to scaling your account. This is one of the most popular things and something that will happen naturally. So with scaling your account, Forex from a long-term perspective is a major tool in wealth building because of just how scalable it is. Unlike any 9-to-5 income, with trading, you're not locked into a geographical location to earn a set amount per hour or per month until you eventually get a raise or get promoted. Your FX income is consistent and scalable growth. When you crack the barrier of consistency in your trading results, your trading income continues to grow exponentially. Every time you take a position, you're constantly calculating that position based off of your new account balance. This is the power of compound interest. Banking a 5% trade on, let's say, £50,000, this account brings your account balance up to 52,500. Your next position is now calculated based off of the new number, meaning that if you're now taking a 5% trade and you bank 5%, that would be the equivalent to 2,625 rather than 2,500. So that's an extra £125 on your account just by utilizing compound interest. So can you see how that small decision, that compounds massively, as you've seen in the compound interest calculator? Focus on building the skill set, and you will be surprised how quickly everything starts to come together. You may be in a headspace where you think that it's somewhat of a distant goal for you to leave your 9 to 5. It's not, and you're in the right place to do that. We've had people time and time again on a regular basis quit their jobs and not so much escape from the 9 to 5, but become a full-time trader and have the freedom to do the things they're most passionate about. And that's the most important thing. And this really does come from scaling your account, because you'll need a certain amount in your account in which that it covers your expenses, that you're able to live on and is comfortable to do so. And as your account grows, that 1% risk equates to a larger value, and your profit potential continues to grow. With the increase in capital comes greater emotional tendencies. Therefore, there are many factors that come into play with trading a larger account size that may be overlooked whilst just getting involved in Forex. And again, we teach you how to do this on a regular basis. We're doing this on a regular basis, and this is why we've seen people scale and grow, because we set you up mentally. There are a few strategies to diversifying capital that we will cover later on. But keep in mind, we'll do this in the weekly content. And there are members in the community that have been through this process and you've covered in terms of the questions and concerns. So if you have anything in your mind that you ever want to reach out, or you want to learn about how you go on scaling your account and capital, there's so many people, for myself in the team and in the community, for you to reach out to and ask those questions. The best part about being surrounded by a worldwide community is that you have literally 24/7 support from people in all stages of the journey, from all different walks of life, and all from unique circumstances. As you grow your account, you have the resources, and the people in your circle now, they have those questions answered in full detail, and they can set you on that path to success. After all, they was once in the same position as yourself, as was I when I was 18 years old. And all of these questions we've put in place to be able to help you grow and scale. So that is scaling your account. And remember, it's important to understand that happens naturally. You either scale your account normally, or you seek investment once you've got the consistency, and then you scale that even further. But the most important thing is that you do this in the right way, that everything you're doing now, you're setting yourself up for the long run. Think of this now in episode 10 as this is your process for your future life, your portfolio that you built. That is the most important thing, which is why we talk about do things in a sustainable and scalable way. It's not a buzz phrase. It's something that means something, because you're doing this to better your life, right? So you need to make decisions now that are long-term thinking decisions. That is how wealthy people have become wealthy. And this brings me on to the journey. So the journey as a Forex trader is really, really enjoyable. But first of all, I want to take this moment to say congratulations on taking the first step and joining Falcon Trading Guidance. You've opened the floodgates to much more than you may have realized when you first got involved, which is why we're not just FX education. We're highly skilled traders, but we're so much more than that. I remember my own journey through FX, and I've experienced these opportunities that it's created in my life, and I'm extremely excited and humbled for you to experience the things that this journey has to offer you. I really am. Remember that at any point in your progression through the Falcon content and your trading journey, we've been there, we've experienced it, the highs, the lows, all of it, the whole 9 yards, and we know how to help you through that process. You cannot instill a quality into somebody that you don't possess yourself. So through the trial and error and the experiences that we have, we're able to transfer that to you. If you have the mindset to persist until you succeed, to push on regardless of the people who tell you it's not possible, to consistently improve yourself and your skill set, you're already halfway there. You have completed your part in finishing this initial investment, and we will do ours to make sure that you see that vision through right to the end and hold you accountable every step of the way, because that is how you truly grow. And when it comes to everything as a whole, when you're pushed out of your comfort zone, it's not always going to be comfortable, but you have to become comfortable in the uncomfortable, and it becomes enjoyable. But I really want to welcome you to the community, and this is the first stage of your journey. So guys and girls, welcome to Falcon. As the project grows, the number of genuine messages that I receive on a daily basis just continues to grow. And for those that are leaving their 9-to-5 jobs, we actually had someone a couple of weeks ago leave their 9-to-5 jobs, gone full-time. It's just happening on such a regular basis, and people's lives have changed forever. As we've said, Falcon will continue to create 6-7-figure plus traders, and you're now part of that. It's the reason this project started. And to continue to be able to impact you on such a big level is why, as a team here at Falcon, we will continue to innovate and bring you the resources and the guidance that you need to become the best that you possibly can. Guys and girls, welcome to Falcon and to the start of your trading journey to becoming consistently profitable and a skilled trader. I'm so humbled that you've come on this journey, and I'm really, really excited to share more and more and just see your overall progression as a trader. So keep on putting in the work, apply the things that you've learned, and I want to leave you with something that is really special, that's always going to keep you on track in your Falcon journey, and that's something called the Falcon Principles. So I want to show you what that means. So principle number 1, teachability. So what does this mean, and why is this important to your trading and life in general? Well, remaining teachable and understanding how to be coachable, being open-minded, is one of the most important things in your trading, because this is how people get stuck in their ways. They trade in a certain way, the market evolves, but they don't evolve with it. It's the same way the world evolves, the times evolve, and people don't evolve. So we have to understand that in order for us to evolve with all of these types of conditions and the way the world moves, we have to remain teachable. This really comes down to our willingness to change needs to be stronger than our willingness to learn. We can have all of the knowledge, all of the information possible, but if we're not changing and actually adopting the habits and actually doing the things that we need to do to actually create those great habits for success, then we're always just going to be learning. But we need to be changing and growing in individuals. And I think teachability really comes in the form of just being open and don't think that you know everything. The moment that your ego gets involved, that sabotages you. Remaining open, knowing that you're forever a student, not just of the markets, but in life in general. If you've studied successful people in general, they always know that they can do more, and be open to more. So if you can remain teachable and always go back to principle number 1, you're always going to keep yourself in line for success. So principle number 2, accountability. So accountability, why is this important? Well, you can have all of the goals set in the world and you can have them specific in so much detail. But if you don't have accountability, if you're not surrounded by people that are going to hold you accountable, it's easy for you to fall off track. So always going back to that core principle of accountability. Have you got an accountability partner? Have you got an accountability tracker? Are you utilizing all of the tools to be held accountable to your goals as possible? This is why we're giving you the tools, all of the resources to hold yourself accountable, because the goals that you can achieve when you are held accountable is bigger than your wildest dreams, because accountability is what really takes you to that next level. And yes, sometimes it's uncomfortable. Sometimes you feel a little bit nervous, you have the butterflies and things like that, but it's the accountability that will really take you to the next level. It's been a game changer for me, and I always go back to it. So principle number 2, accountability. So principle number 3, surrounding yourself with like-minded people. Now, we've heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend your time with. This couldn't be more true and is almost undervalued, underrated. If we go back to understanding that we have on average 75,000 thoughts per day, 90% of those will be the same the next day. Well, imagine all of those thoughts that you're having, they're the people that you surround yourself with. So if you're having negative thoughts and you're surrounding yourself with people that are not ambitious, that are not soaring for the moon, they're not thinking big, then naturally that's going to weigh you down, because those are going to be the low vibrational conversations that you have with them. And then guess what's going to happen? That's going to translate into your thoughts, your mindset, and your character. And that ultimately gives you your destiny. So if you can surround yourself with like-minded people that are ambitious, that are going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear all the time, they're going to be the ones that push you out of your comfort zone. Surround yourself with successful people. This has been tried and true from history of successful people. Don't undervalue it. Use it as your leverage, and you have the community to do that right here. So principle number 3, surrounding yourself with like-minded people. So now on to principle number 4, processes versus outcome. So why is this important? Well, as we can see that in life and success in general, it normally comes from having a great process. When we're outcome driven, we tend to focus on the wrong things and we make bad decisions based off of short-term gratification. When we focus on processes, we make decisions based off of long-term thinking. Remember, short-term thinking gets you short-term results. Longer term thinking gets you long-term results. So it's about understanding that principle. When you can have great processes, as a side effect, you achieve your goals anyway. It's like in trading. If you focus on how much money you can make, you tend to not make nothing at all. When you focus on the process of taking high quality setups, you make the desired monetary value that you wanted in the first place. So you realize that if you can stick to that principle and realize if you're ever going off a track and you're focusing on how to make percentage goals, if you're focusing on monetary goals, that is when you're more outcome driven. And that is a great principle to go back to realize, well, hold on a minute. It's the process is what is going to get me the outcome as a side effect. So processes over outcome. So now this brings me to principle number 5, which is the power of the 1% tweak. So what does that mean? Well, in life in general, we can make very powerful 1% tweaks. And they may seem at the time a very small thing, yet they make such a big difference in our overall performance and results. I mean, think of it like golf. If you change the angle of your swing by just a millimeter or a few millimeters, a small 1% tweak, it's the difference of you hitting it in the sand or hitting it on the green. And isn't that crazy to think that? But just a slight small tweak, and we're talking millimeters here. This is the same within your trading. When you're trading, you can make the smallest tweak to your entries, or how you enter something at the top and the bottom of the structure, or how you manage a trade at the top or the bottom of a structure. That 1% tweak can be the difference of you being a break-even trader or a minus trader to 5, 6, 7% a month. So it goes to show you, going back to understanding that you may be just one small 1% tweak away from consistency and improving your life in general. And now principle number 6, 3-step process. See, the 3-step process is something that I said at the very beginning of this course, and this has contributed towards so much success in the community and in my life in general. Why is that? Because the subconscious, when we truly understand how the subconscious mind works, it loves repetition in the right way. So when we can do the 3-step process on content and lots of different things, on books, we can retain information at a level that we wouldn't normally do that. Most people skim over content, skim over books, and they don't retain the information. Utilizing the 3-step process. If you ever feel like you don't understand something, whether it be just a one episode in a quick tip season, going back over that episode and doing the 3-step process on that can be huge for, again, bringing in another principle, a 1% tweak to your performance. So always going back to that 3-step process. You can apply this on content, reading, whatever it may be in life in general. Going back to that core principle. If you really are serious and you want to retain information at an incredible level, you go back to that principle of the 3-step process. Now on to the last principle of Falcon. So principle number 7, persistence. Now there's an old saying and a affirmation which is, I persist until I succeed. This is something that I've kept for years and years. And those in the community will know this very well from me. I persist until I succeed. Persistence is something that is so underrated. You can have a lot of talent, but you can be pretty lazy and not succeed. And you can have not much talent, but be very persistent and succeed much more than somebody else. And we've seen this within the community. Those that persist a little bit longer are the ones that succeed. Why is that? Why is it that persistence is so important? Because you never know when the penny is going to drop for you. You could be doing the 3-step process, another one of the principles, and retaining the information, but you might not fully grasp something. You might not fully understand something at the level that you need to make the 1% tweak and become successful or consistent. But it's persistence. Everything else does not matter unless you are persistent. Success is hard. Being high performance is difficult. And what really breaks through the people that don't succeed and the ones that do succeed is persistence, developing that strong mindset and a mentality. And this is what these principles are here to do for you. So always going back to this, and this has served me for years and years. What changed for me and so many successful people that I've studied and have the privilege to surround myself with is persistence. It's one of the most crucial principles, and if you can always go back to anything, go back to principle number 7, persistence. Guys and girls, we are at the end of the Foundation series. big congratulations. It's been an absolute pleasure taking you on this journey and the start of your Falcon journey. And I think it's really important to, realize that you're one of the 1% people that actually take action. If you're joining the community for the very first time, then you have to realize that people that succeed are the ones that invest in themselves. And that is exactly what you're doing. I've really enjoyed putting this together and just building all of the framework to set you up for success. And look, I totally understand if you're new to Forex or even you've been trading for a while, it's going to take time for you to develop that mentality. But I'm confident that you've got all of the tools, all of the strategies to set yourself up for success. This, guys and girls, is stage 1 complete. Now, as we level up even further, where you really learn how to apply this knowledge even further is from myself and the coaches, the experienced students, people within the community, all of the support that we have on a weekly basis. There's one thing having knowledge, but having people on the same mission as you that have the same goal is one of the best things in the world, because you can share those experiences, the frustrations, the highs, the lows, and you've just stepped into one of the most genuine communities. I've never seen the amount of success in one community than ever before. And it might sound biased because it's our community, but it is what it is. We're seeing 6-7-figure regular traders come out of the community. There's a reason for that, because we're surrounded by genuine people and we have the processes in place to keep you focused, staying on the right track. So you have so many incredible resources. I envy you all, and I wish that I had this in the very first start of my journey nearly 11 years ago now. It's crazy. So I've really enjoyed putting this all together and just seeing your development grow as a trader. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the community, seeing you at meetups, seeing you at events, and just seeing your overall progression. One of the best feelings in the world is actually seeing that, seeing people persistent enough that they've gone from, not knowing anything about trading or trading and struggling for years, finally seeing the simplicity that we do, and then going full time, taking on investor capital like 6 figures, 7 figures, and seeing their life change. That is the best feeling in the world. And realizing this, Falcon is not just about trading, it's life in general. It's a mentality, and understanding that when I first started this project to realize what is the best thing that I can give someone. Is it financial freedom? Is it wealth? Is it money? Well, it actually goes deeper than that. It gives them the ability to be able to choose what they truly want to do with their life. And I personally believe Forex is an incredible vehicle to be able to do that. Why? Because when you're financially free and you're stable and you're focused, you actually have time to think about other hobbies and passions that you would love to explore. We have so many traders that have other passions, and what has enabled them to be able to focus on that is being able to be financially stable, to be able to say, right, I want to start my own bakery, or I want to start my own brand of skateboards. Whatever it is, being able to provide that to someone is the best feeling in the world. So you've just stepped into something truly incredible. I thank you for really taking the time to go over this. And again, if you don't get it straight away, go again and again and remember these 7 principles of Falcon. And if you can always go back to that, you're always going to stay on track. Guys and girls, stage 1 complete. Welcome to the community, and I look forward to seeing you in Slack and meeting you in person.